What's up everyone, Lethal Concept here. So I'm still with the same group as I was before. This is going to be my A to Z for the Krogan Vanguard. So here we don't actually need the melee optim. I still will take the strength enhancer. So I'll take this strength enhancer. I don't think I'll need the shield, so what I want is I want a shotgun rail lamp to actually boost up my shotgun damage. And if you look at my weapon, I don't actually use the melee enhancer. I'm using smart choke and barrel. That's because you actually reach the threshold to actually one melee hit enemies without the melee optimizer. So that's a really cool nifty thing that you can do with the Vanguard, for the Krogan Vanguard, not for the human Vanguard, because human Vanguard doesn't have that melee increase from patch 1.08 like the Asari Duelist, Krogan Gladiator and the Krogan Vanguard have. So here, this is a bit of the matchmaking taking effect. Here, Kiwi Wrath is actually one of my friends. So what I'm pretty sure is he just joined into the match. He was quick searching and joined into my match because I'm his friend or her friend and joined into the match. So I really think matchmaking actually prioritizes friends, which is pretty cool. With Fortify, I'm pretty sure I still have Fortify as 4 ranks for the extra damage protection. Even on the Krogan Vanguard, that extra damage protection is very nice. I'm also using the Disciple because I really want obviously a weapon, different weapon for each playstyle, and that's the reason why I have the Disciple. Also the reloading in shots per bullet as well. When I talk about scatter shot, when you don't want to reload and get forced to reload, it's actually still nice as well. Well, I usually like to stay up here with sniper classes or classes with high-fire weapons. I'll stay up here with the Krogan Vanguard as well because it gives me an elevation and I can jump up and see if there's any enemies, and I can also charge them, headshot them, and actually come back here, which is nice. Obviously I'm not having rage proc. Wow, really? It managed to grab me before I could actually get my melee off. Now if you're going to observers, you can actually right click and you actually float a bit, which allows you to get some shots off. I was actually mashing charge to try and... So when you charge an enemy, one thing to keep note is this will actually hold the enemy in place as well. And it does this because obviously if the enemy's not there, like running this way, and I charge here and I'm here and the enemy's there, you're not going to deal damage, right? So obviously it holds them in place, which means if you have any sniper classes or any classes built around using weapons, it holds them in place for very easy headshots, which is why it's still a good idea to charge like those dogs and stuff. Especially in the like that suicide breacher, it's still a good idea to charge because it holds them in place and your enemies can still shoot them while they're held in place as well, which is very nice. So here I don't want to go like across the map because if I go down, it does mean that my team will have a harder time obviously raising me, so I want to like still be relatively close. Relatively close to my team. I like playing it's either going to be a very, like a babysit human Vanguard, or it's going to be a very very like aggro heavy Vanguard, but not so aggro that it's going to be so hard to res me from like across the map. And here, because I have smart choke, I can still do quite a decent bit of damage. While not the best, it's still decent. Did that thing really jump across the map? I mean, jump up here. And obviously with Fortify, I can tank a lot of this punishment because of that. Now here, if you see, if that's charging. Now he's in place, held in place, and I can kill it with Nova. As you can see there, that's what I mean. It holds them in place, which means if it was right in front of my ally, about to suicide but hasn't already, and I charge, I can actually stop it with that kind of like hold in place feature. And obviously it holds them in place as well, so as you can see we have a sniper, so he can get pretty easy and very nice headshots if I'm holding them in place with charge, which is another benefit of playing slightly ahead of the team, but not so ahead that they don't have vision, and it will make it very hard for them to res you. Please don't tell me they can actually heal. Okay, that's good, that's good. So what I'm actually thinking of going up to here. And here I'm going to opt to actually CC them so that it's easier to take down with a disciple, you know, if the actual pellets hit them. Yeah, I am actually going to charge the observer because it makes it easier for me to shoot at.
Hang in there, Apex.
So if you notice, I actually went up to the
Squad member down.
if you actually notice, I actually did go up to, while he reses, I'm actually going to opt to charge to restore my shield. I actually went up to the destroyer. Now, why would you want to do that? This actually has a chance to make the destroyer use the melee attack. So if you see here, there's a chance that instead of actually firing, like he will use his melee attack, and this means that they're not firing on your team, obviously. So that's useful for sometimes for that. You should only do it if you're comfortable doing so. Which I was... Oh my god, am I going to be stuck in this animation because he died? Yeah, I just want to get some disciple shots when the mouth is open, which is why I went so close. And obviously with Fortify, I can take quite a bit of damage as well.
Just 3 hostiles remaining. Good. Stay
Oh, they got rid of it, which is fine. But yeah, obviously I'm not playing a kind of like absolute Leroy Jenkins Vanguard. If you're interested in that kind of play style, you're probably going to have to look at someone. I'm a bit more conservative. I play around my team a lot more. As you can see, obviously my score isn't that impressive as someone like Jabberwatch, which is using a very high firepower weapon, or Kiwi Wraith, which is sniping a lot. Here I am going to charge that breacher so that it doesn't actually charge towards my team per se. I can hear it shooting. I don't know who it's shooting at. So here, I do notice that my ally used a ammo power to get that cryo effect, so I wanted to charge to actually detonate that. I saw that observer, which is why I'm taking cover in such a unique direction, because that observer for me is one of the more troublesome classes. He's not actually aimed at me, so it's fun to actually peek out. We're actually got a properly melee attack. Go to the other side because it doesn't look like it's hitting here. And this will actually stop the turret from firing at my teammates, which is very nice as well.
Just 3 hostiles remaining.
Probably a very boring playstyle compared to the other Vanguard builds of Vanguards that you have seen playing, where they go in and just one-shotting everything with their headbutt. If you're used to that, I'm sorry. Probably a very boring playstyle to compare to what you're used to. But this is just the way how I play in general. Like that observer is I don't like charging. I wouldn't charge that observer because that's way too far from my team. What I can do is, however, opt to use Nova, and that should hit everything that comes around. Pretty sure that's aimed at me. Once again, it's aimed at me, not at my team, so it allows my team to deal with it a lot more nicely. Pretty sure that's not aimed at me as well, because that should proc the melee attack. Unfortunately, I don't have charge for this, but thankfully it's also aimed at me as well. That should knock down the observer. Well, he died anyway, so that's fine, taking a bit of damage because I'll just charge to replenish them. And for all these red health, well, this one, I can knock them down with Nova. Oh, this one I will opt to charge in out of vision because he's not that far away. And obviously with the melee doing a lot of damage, you don't really need the Disciple. The Disciple does do a lot of damage at close range, so what we can do is Disciple Headshot, well Headbutt really is what I should say, which deals a lot of damage, but I'm not doing that constantly because obviously I'm not really charging in as much. I'm saving charge really so that it's up for when my shields go down. Here I am going to opt to I'm going to cause I thought that would cause a fire explosion. So here I am going to try and stop the nullifier from firing by going to melee range. Which hopefully should give my teammate a bit of breathing space so that's not firing at him. Again, I'm going closer to stop that nullifier from firing, because if you go into melee range with a nullifier, he's actually forced to drop his shield down, as you can see here, which it's just helpful to not have it like staggering all your teammates and everything.
Watch yourself.
That's fine. Just checking to see if my teammates are okay. They seem to be coming here as well. Seem to be a lot of enemies on this side. So what I'm going to do is jump down, jump back up. This should knock down the breacher, and I'm going to charge the breacher because this will actually stop him from staggering me. Because if he staggers me and those nullifiers get off a couple of shots, I could go down pretty easily. So it's also a bit of target management as well, knowing which one's more threatening for you and your team at that moment, because at that range those nullifiers, they still take a bit of time to charge up because they're still locking onto me. So I really wanted to get rid of the breacher, because I could get staggered, then I could get shot from one nullifier, then a second, and then that breacher could grapple me in that time, and actually I'll just die outright. Oh, time to go down. Here I do see a shot, so I really need something to charge right now, because Charge and Nova have invincibility frames. So what that means is I really wanted something to charge so that I could get those invincibility frames and not get killed. For that stagger, gonna Nova for that stagger, and I'm gonna start charging to deal with this observer. Oops, press the console when I press 1. We should start moving, Jabberwatch. That should stagger. And I could also charge these breaches and also tank for my team as well. So those breaches were on me, and you know, it was a couple of seconds at the very end of the match. However, what very unlikely to happen, what can happen is maybe they stagger one of my teammates, maybe the infiltrator who's squishier maybe, or one of my teammates that doesn't have fortify, and they could have gotten a shot, and maybe their health was low, so they may have gotten down. While it's a very unlikely scenario, it can happen. So that's the reason why I chose to charge those breaches, to get in their line of sight as well. As fast as possible, is what I should say. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. See ya!